Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well. So today I wanted to share with you what I think about my Instant Pot air fryer combo. I got this for Christmas and I've been cooking with it for 3 months now. And I thought that's enough time to be able to give you a good idea of whether I like this machine or not. So first of all, let's just take a look at what it actually is. So the official name is the Instant Pot Duo Crisp Air Fryer. And that's because it is an Instant Pot with the big 8-quart pot, like you see here. But it is also an air fryer. So this is your air frying basket, which goes inside your Instant Pot. And how it works is you have a different lid. This is your air frying lid. So depending on whether you use the Instant Pot pressure cooker or other function lid or the air fryer function and lid, you can do both in this machine. And by the way, my name's Debbie. Welcome to my kitchen. And let's talk about what other functions does this machine do. So you can pressure cook with it, like with any Instant Pot. You can saute, you can slow cook, you can steam, you can do sous vide cooking, you can air fry, you can roast, you can bake, you can broil, you can dehydrate, and you have a keep warm function as well. So these are the preset functions that this machine has. You can do more than this, but these are the preset functions. For example, you can make yogurt in this machine, and I'm going to try that very soon. But I'm not going to, there's no preset function for it, but you can. Also, you can make rice with this machine. It can function as a rice cooker, but that's not a preset function here, but it doesn't matter. You just use the pressure cook function, and it's fine. So let's talk first about what have I made in this machine. So recently I made a beef stew using the slow cook function, and my recipe is up on YouTube. So I'll put a link to that recipe in the video description, and you can also just click on the link above to check it out if you want to. And it was amazing, and it functioned just like a slow cooker, really. So some other things I've made using the pressure cook function. I made bone broth in 45 minutes. Normally you would 45 minutes to an hour, but normally on the stovetop it would be several hours. I made celery potato white bean soup. Now the white beans were already cooked, but everything else was raw, and the whole thing was 20 minutes. I made beans from scratch, dry beans. Have you ever tried making dry beans? Normally what you do is you let them soak for 6 to 10 hours in water. Then you drain them, and then you cook them for 45 minutes to an hour on the stovetop. Well, with the pressure cook function, I put my dry beans in the Instant Pot, and 25 to 35 minutes later, I had beautifully cooked beans. It depends on which bean you're cooking. The cooking time varies slightly. But I mean, that's amazing. Going from a 6 to 10 hour soak and then a 1 hour cook to approximately 30 minutes, and it's all done. And the beans are really good. And working from dry beans is much less expensive than working from canned beans, and you have no sodium either. And I see we've got a couple of people watching. Hi, thanks for tuning in. If you want to tell me who you are or where you're from, that's great. But thank you for tuning in. I also made vegetable stock in 40 minutes. Normally it would be about an hour and a half on the stovetop. That's using, once again, the pressure cook function. Brown rice, which normally takes about 40 minutes on the stovetop, 17 to 25 minutes, depending on just how soft you want the rice. White rice would be even less, but I don't eat white rice. I don't have white rice in my house, and I don't cook white rice. And one of these days I'm going to do a video on some of the foods that I really do not eat and why. And white rice is one of them. Of course, when I go to a restaurant, I may not have a choice, but at home I have a choice. Stuffed peppers. So I made stuffing for my peppers, and the stuffing did have a little bit of meat. The meat was cooked, but everything else in the stuffing, and the rice was also cooked, but everything else, the vegetables and everything else was not cooked. And the peppers were not cooked. 6 minutes, and I had stuffed peppers instead of 40 to 45 minutes in the oven. Like, that's amazing. And they taste really good. Poached salmon in 2 to 3 minutes. Now for that, I actually use the steam function, but and it was really good. I haven't done that recipe yet because I want to test it one more time before I put it up on YouTube, but I will be putting up a recipe for that, or for all of this stuff. If it's not up there already, it's coming. So, I have to say, the Instant Pot feature and the saute feature and the slow cook feature, which are the ones I've used so far, except for air frying, I am so impressed with how this machine cooks. One of the other things I really like about the Instant Pot, about the pressure cooking or the other features like that, I put the lid on, and the lid, you put it on like this, and that's right. Put it on like this, and normally you would plug it in, because when you plug it in, you're gonna, here, I'll demonstrate. I'll plug it in. Oops, gotta move it back a bit. Okay. Did you hear the beep? It went beep telling me I'm ready. And then you put your lid on. Did you hear that? And then you turn it, and that's telling you got it, the lid's on properly. So the machine even sings to you. But here, I'm going to unplug it now. And then the reverse to open it. But one of the things that's really nice is the machine is totally quiet. There's no noise when it's on Instant Pot or slow cook function. No noise. There's no smells either. Until you open it, when you're done, there's no smells. And the fact that this machine is so quiet and there's no smells is really amazing. So I am very impressed and very pleased with the Instant Pot function of this machine. Now let's talk about air frying. So air frying. I have done kale. Oh, hello, H's Life. Yes, I know. I thought about this for a while before I bought it, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But thanks for tuning in. So this is H's Life, says he or she says they're looking at maybe getting one. Hi, Mary. Yeah, hi, Mary. Whoops, what did I do? Mary is my longest friend, and thanks for tuning in. So now let's talk air frying. So for air frying, we have an air frying basket and a little stand which comes apart for washing. We also have we have a little basket like this if we want. This is what I use to actually cook my stuffed peppers on. I put this inside the Instant Pot, around Instant Pot pan, and put my peppers on that because I didn't want my peppers to be in contact with the bottom. You also have one of these little things which you can put in your Instant Pot also if you want to cook something, but just not have it sitting right in any liquid that might be at the bottom. So you have those accessories as well. So air frying. So you have this basket. Now it doesn't look very big, but I've actually managed to put 2 carrots cut up into pieces, or 2 potatoes cut up into pieces in this basket. So I have cooked kale in here, 2 to 3 minutes, and it's amazing. Carrots, around 10 minutes. Potatoes, sweet potatoes or white potatoes, roasted sweet or white potatoes, around 12 to 15 minutes. Turnip, same thing, around 10 to 12 minutes. I've even done puff pastry, filled puff pastry in here, 10 to 12 minutes. Normally, my roast potatoes in the oven are taking me 35 to 45 minutes on high heat. Now, this thing gets really hot. So when you air fry, you put this basket inside here. Let me take those out. And then you put your air fryer lid on. And let me turn it in. That way you can just hear what it does. So where's the front of this thing? This is the back. Okay, so just kind of like put it like this. And you hear the jingle? That's telling you the lid is on properly. You take it off. And also when you air fry, it's going to, about partway or slightly past partway through the cooking time that you set, it's going to tell you beep, beep, which means turn the food if you want. So let's say I wanted to air fry. I'm just going to push air fry here. It's very easy to use. Air fry, says 3 minutes. Let's say I want 6 minutes. I just do my 6 minutes and I press start. It warms up and it starts. Now I'm going to stop it because I don't actually want to air fry at the moment, but so, the air fry function, I'm completely in love with the air fry function as well. It cooks food amazing. I generally coat the food in just a tiny bit of olive oil and that's it. So basically I'm air frying with almost no oil. And when it was the puff pastry, of course, I didn't put any oil. I just put the puff pastry inside the air frying basket. I believe I used this. I don't remember if I used that. I might not have. And it was really good. So now let's look at one more thing that it comes with. It comes with this very solid base. And this is to put your air fryer lid on because I'm going to be careful, even though it was only on for a few seconds. This gets incredibly hot. So you never, ever, ever want to put this on anything except the base until it's completely cool. So now let's talk about cleaning. Here, let me unplug it. Cleaning the air fryer is really easy. You take everything out. You can wash it in the dishwasher or wash it by hand. And then I just wipe inside the pot. This is what it looks like inside. It's very easy. And I just wipe around the rim a little bit. And then I just wipe the lid. And the lid really doesn't seem to get dirty, the Instant Pot lid or the air fryer lid. So cleaning is really easy. Another advantage is you're saving money because the cooking times are so dramatically reduced. You're not turning on your oven for hours on end. You're not using the stovetop for hours on end. So you're saving money. So what was there? Yeah, so how good is it? So let's talk price now. So I'm in Canada. So this was 250 Canadian in November. But then it went on, and actually, before we talk, we'll talk price and we'll talk the other thing I want to talk about. I really wanted it at that point. I decided this is what I want for Christmas, but I'm like, that's a lot of money. But then it went on sale in December, down to 200 Canadian, and I had a $50 gift certificate for Amazon, and I had been saving my money all along, and my husband kicked in as well as part of my Christmas present. So between all of that, I got it for 200 Canadian, which is incredible if you consider what it does. I believe now it's back up to 250, but even at 250, in my opinion, given everything this does, I almost don't use my oven or my stovetop now. So why did I decide on the combo Instant Pot air fryer? I wanted an Instant Pot to cook my beans because it was such a long process, and I do eat quite a bit of legumes. I'm not totally vegetarian, but I don't eat much flesh. Mostly I eat plants. And but I wanted an air fryer too. My daughter bought an air fryer, and I was like amazed at all the things she could cook in it and how fast she could cook them. And so I was like, oh, but I want both, but that's a lot of money. And, this machine, it's not tiny, so it takes up, some space on my counter. We actually reorganized the whole kitchen to make room for this baby. This used to be the coffee zone, but now this is the Instant Pot zone, and the coffee zone's over there. A little more crowded, but it's okay. And then my daughter said, well, you can get machines that do both. So I looked at them, and I actually did a video comparing this machine to the Ninja Foodi, which is also an Instant Pot air fryer combination machine. And if you want to go check out that video, I'm going to link it up above, and I'm also going to put it into the video description. The Ninja Foodi is also a very good machine, but I decided on the Instant Pot for two reasons. One, it was a little bit less expensive, and number two, it had the big Instant Pot capacity. However, the air frying capacity is a bit smaller than what you get with just a dedicated air fryer. So if you're looking for a huge amount of air frying capacity and you're less interested in the Instant Pot capacity, then maybe you either want to look at the Ninja Foodi or you want to just get a dedicated air fryer. But in my case, since we're only two people, or maybe four if we have guests, or six even, this is enough for me. And if I have to cook in two batches, that's not a problem because the air frying is so fast. But this is an 8-quart. This is an 8-quart pot, so it's very big. There's a bit of water in there. I'll have to drain it. So, the capacity is really big. Like I can make a huge batch of soup or broth or anything else in there. I don't know if anybody has any questions so far about the Instant Pot air fryer combination machine. Now, when I first got it, so it comes with this instruction manual, and when I first got it, it was kind of intimidating, all the different parts, and I was very nervous about the pressure cooking function because I grew up in the days with the old pressure cookers, and they have this little bobble thing that sits on top, and I've been in kitchens when it has gone flying off like a missile around the kitchen, and I mean, it could kill you. So pressure cooking in the old days could be a scary thing. So I was very nervous about the pressure cooking function. And I'm reading the instructions, and it's like, oh, these different, things you got to do, and you got to test it. But eventually I did get through that learning curve, and I'm very comfortable with it now. But it is good to read the instructions, follow the instructions, learn all the different functions of the pressure cook, which is actually really easy. This is your steam release, and this is your valve to either set it to lock so no steam releases, or to set it to release. And it's very easy to use. And the air frying was much simpler. The air frying was just put the lid on. If you hear the jingle, you know it's done correctly, and off you go. You're at the races. Something else you get also is you get this sheet with estimated times for the most common foods that are going to be cooked in an Instant Pot or an air fryer. Rice, squash, beans, oatmeal, vegetables, all kinds of things, fish, meat. And I did make spare ribs in here, but I'm going to do it again before I kind of put a recipe out. But I do know people that have made spare ribs, that have made slow cook roast, that have done all kinds of things in this machine. It's extremely versatile, and I'm totally in love with it. And for me, it was an absolutely worthwhile investment. Is there anything negative I can say about this machine? I just say the only thing for me was just in the very beginning was just learning about the pressure cooking function and being comfortable with it. But after I did it, I did the test, and then after I did it a couple of times, I was like, wow, this is very safe and reliable. I mean, there's no way once you get this lid on and it locks, there's no way it's coming off, and there's no parts that are going to fly off because these parts are connected inside, so they're not going to fly off, unlike the pressure cookers of the earlier times that I grew up with. I still have some other functions to explore, but basically so far I've used maybe half the functions, and I'm very, very, very pleased with it. I can't think of anything negative to say. I really can't. It's easy to clean. It's easy to use. It cuts your cooking time. The results are really good. Does anybody have any questions? Anything else they want to ask me? I really, for the life of me, cannot think of anything negative to say. And Instant Pot is a very good brand with a good reputation. I did decide to buy the extended warranty. It was $30. I just thought, well, it's a machine. I don't know. I'll do that. I don't always do that, but because this was an expensive machine, I thought maybe I'm going to do that. So I did do that. Yeah. So this machine has changed my life. I am totally pleased with the investment, and I can't think of anything negative to say. But if anybody has any experiences with their Instant Pot air fryer combo machine that they want to share, good or bad, or questions, please let me know. But I really think that having a machine like this in your kitchen is going to save you a ton of money, a ton of time. It's worth the investment. And if you're living in a small apartment, you could basically function without a stove with this machine. So everybody, if you like this content, give me a like and subscribe to my channel, or give me a like on Facebook if that's where you're watching from. And I look forward to seeing you in future videos. And if you think of a question afterwards, put it in the chat and I will give you an answer as soon as I can. Everybody stay well. Thanks so much for watching, and let me know if you decide to get one. Let me know. Bye, everybody. Take care.